Do cholesterol lowering drugs really help you? You know, the statins? Well, I'm going to cover that in today's video, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Hey, this is Lance McGowan, the Tropical Smoothie Guy, and when it comes to cholesterol drugs or statins, they're very commonly prescribed, but do they really help, or is there other alternatives? Well, I'm going to cover what the drugs actually do from a liver standpoint and really help you get that information in the next section.
Hey, this is Lance McGowan, the Tropical Smoothie Guy, and today we're going to talk about cholesterol drugs and how they work. So, the most common cholesterol lowering drugs are called statins. Statins disrupt production of cholesterol by blocking an enzyme inside the liver cells. This results in less cholesterol being released into the bloodstream. Some statins also reduce the inflammatory process in the vessel wall, and when the body has a reduced reaction to the invading cholesterol, fewer macrophages travel into the artery wall to form the foam cells that we were learning about in the other video that I did, and therefore less plaque is being built up. And so when plaque stops growing inside an artery, the fibrous outer coating remains strong and is less likely to rupture, and this is called a stable plaque. Okay, so you have the liver, you have the sinusoid or blood vessel kind of here. You see here that cholesterol assembly is interrupted and output from the liver is reduced with these cholesterol lowering drugs. And then the liver cells, also called the hepatocytes. All right, some interesting names here. All right, so you can see here more LDL or bad cholesterol returns to the liver to be digested. The liver cells are there as well. Okay, so what this you see here a diagram, you reduce the smooth muscle cell changes, all right, reduce the inflammatory cells inside the plaque, stabilize the endothelium, reduce friction in the blood flow as well, and reduce proteins associated with inflammation. And so you can see how the medication or the statins is affecting your blood as well as the plaque and other areas. And I'm actually going to talk about in the next section some natural solutions as well and how you can help the plaque not get there to begin with, because that's the big thing. It's like, okay, once it's there, what do we do? But how do we make sure future plaque doesn't get there? So I'm going to talk about that more in the next section.
Cholesterol lowering drugs do a couple things. One is they basically adjust and can affect the amount of cholesterol being released into your bloodstream through the enzymes, blocking that enzyme in the liver. And then some statins can also affect the inflammation process in the vessel wall. And so that is another thing. But for me, I'm always looking back, what's the, cause of the cholesterol getting into the bloodstream to begin with, besides the liver producing it? Because if the liver produces all that it needs, then that's all we need to know about. Now, if the liver is producing excess LDL or the bad cholesterol, that would be a concern. But most cases, it's because of diet and lifestyle things. And so the drug really is just managing or masking symptoms with these statins. And so the best thing to do would be looking at a more whole plant food based diet and starting with looking up recipes. There's tons of different foods, and some people are like, well, I don't want to do that, but I always encourage people to start off with a food journal and then kind of swap out your meals with more whole plant foods. There's lots of different recipes that you can get, and continue to get education. Food Matters is a great Netflix documentary that you can start with as well. That kind of gets you, in the mindset of, all right, plants eating plants prevents disease, and plants are your friend, and there's a lot of power in the plants and to help you, and to reduce animal protein consumption to 5% or less according to the China study. So that's going to dramatically help you, as well as ideally cutting down or at least reducing dramatically the intake of processed foods. Those are going to kind of be the big things. So reducing processed foods and animal protein consumption to 5% or less of your diet as a percentage of caloric intake, and then eating at least 95% or more plant-based is going to dramatically help you. The higher percentage of plants that you eat, the better it is for not having to need these types of drugs to basically mask or manage symptoms. When you let your food be the medicine, then you don't need the actual synthetic medicine over time, and you can actually wean yourself off or continue to get monitored with a health professional, kind of baseline where you're at with your cholesterol, triglyceride levels, LDL, HDL, blood glucose, all that, and then see how switching to this diet by using, some type of nutritionist that really does focus on whole plant foods, not just some food industry supported, a nutritionist or dietitian based on their schooling and all that, but really focus on somebody who supports the China study and letting plants just heal your body from the inside out. Well, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click the subscribe button so you can watch more videos like this one, or click one of the links down below so you can continue to get your learn on.